people laughed at me. They laughed at me. My body weight went down to 198 pounds. I didn't even look like a bodybuilder anymore. You know, when I said I wanted to make a comeback, they laughed, called me delusional. All this, all that. Blah, 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 blah. That's all I heard. But I just want you to know one thing. If you have a dream and a goal and everything in your mind and something deep down in your heart, don't let it go. If that thing is burning down inside, you need to go back to that place, because I did it. And I'm glad I did.
Sorry for the inconsistency of me posting. Basically, it snowed a lot, so I couldn't go to the gym after the chest and shoulder day. And we slipped up and might have ate like shit yesterday. But I swear, guys, like, it's not that bad, but I'm just saying, like, every time I hit, like, a peak, like, that chest and shoulder day, probably the best I've ever looked so far, and then, like, boom, I can't go to the gym or do anything because it's shitty out, and we eat like ass. I'm still learning this process, but I don't give a damn. I'm pretty goddamn close to this goal, and I don't give a rat's ass if people, whatever they think of this channel or whatever. Yeah. The fine line is that I'll be hitting the goal. Probably, I'd say, by July or June. Maybe a little later. Don't know yet. Depends on... Because, like, I could get sick one week and it could screw up the whole thing, you know. But, heading to the gym in a different town, because this one's still closed. Yeah, but it's kind of like my bad for being a dick, because people don't want it as bad as I do where I'm from. But I grew up around that cowboy mentality of once you start something, you finish it, and you don't quit till it's done. And that's kind of my approach. Speaking of cowboy related stuff, I was gonna wear like my cowboy hat, nice clothes to church, because I also am going to church for confession. I know confession's awkward, guys, but please don't skip it. It feels so much better to get it off your shoulders and stuff like that. But also, so my priest, the father at my church, he's a cowboy that grew up ranching in the mountains of Wyoming and in Montana. And I mean, what a more perfect priest to be ministered where I'm at. I mean, like, it's insane how chill this guy is. It's like literally talking to one of your, like, ranch buddies that you're helping at the ranch or something. Like, he literally, I was trying to get, like, every time I try to get the deep conversations to him about stuff, or about sins and things like that, he's like, yeah, I don't know, dude, I would probably just think about it, and he's like, and always have it in the front of your mind, Jesus Christ. But he's like, yeah, I don't know, dude, I just don't know, but keep up the good work. Like, his number one saying is keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. And actually, when I wanted to become Catholic really bad and start taking RCIA classes, I would email him every single Sunday after church, like, hey, I want to get this done with, like, and all he would say is keep up the good work, and it would, like, frustrate me, but, yeah, now that I am Catholic, it's like talking to a work buddy, and I know there's serious priests out there that, like, take their theologies very serious, and stuff like that, which he is serious, but, like, he's just a laid-back priest. Like, when I first met him, and met the Deacon Jay here, I really thought they were gonna be, like, strict monks, or, like, something like that, like, but they're super laid-back and chill, very loving people. The church and the community, there's maybe only like 3 dudes close to my age, and when I say close to my age, they're 30 something and I'm 21. But I'm gonna talk to him after confession and mass to see if I can help teach OCIA class. I don't think people realize just because I just converted to Catholic that I don't know anything about Catholicism, and that because people grew up a cradle Catholic that they know more than me, and I'm gonna regret. First off, I'm not gonna regret becoming Catholic. If you look at this whole channel, discipline's my #1 thing. Second off, I'm a naturally lazy person. That's why I love the works in the Catholic Church. So if people think I'm gonna fall off because they think it's demanding or tiring, yes it is, but also I'm a very disciplined man. If you look through this channel, you're gonna realize that really quick. Yes, I have bad days like everyone, but pretty much it's one bad day out of a month or so, when it used to be like 3 bad days out of a month. So yeah. So just got out of confession. Yeah, like I said, he was wearing his cowboy hat in confession. I think that's pretty cool, but I don't want to go into too much details because it is like personal and it is a sacrament of the church. But one of the sins I said was like, I have self-hatred towards myself. Like, I grew up and been taught my whole life, like, you gotta be perfect at what you do and you have to be as close as you can at it. And if you slip up, like, you're a failure or a disappointment or something. And like I was telling Father Bryce, like, hey, I have a lot of self-hatred towards myself and feel like I'm not giving enough time to Jesus and not giving enough time to Mother Mary, and like, I can feel that distance, and I know when I get tempted, like, I try to relax on weekends after work, and that's when temptations hit. And like, I think this also has to do a lot with like my food addiction and losing weight since I was fat growing up. He said, listen, he's like, cause I haven't been to confession in 2 weeks, cause last week I like did good, I guess, but I try to stay humble about these things. but he was like, listen, you did better than most people that, you know, turn whatever. Like, he's like, you have to think of the positive things even though you don't like it. Like, he's like, it's been 2 weeks since your last confession, so obviously God's grace is working, and obviously you're holding yourself accountable and stuff when you do slip up, and that but alone by itself, you shouldn't have so much hate towards yourself, and you have to look at the positive side of things and your improvements. And he is right. Like, I used to fall into sin a lot more than before when I was Catholic, when I was a Protestant. I would just fall into sin a lot, like let's say 5 times in a day, and I'd pray and ask Jesus for mercy and to forgive me, but I never like knew if I was truly forgiven. That's why there's a thing called confession. Jesus forgives us through apostolic passing down through the Father, and I don't want to get in the murky waters. I think it's ridiculous when people try to argue, but yeah, like, he was just saying, like, yeah, it sucks. You've had a lot of bad in the past, but you're doing a lot better right now in the present. And I feel so much calmer. The voices are gone after I do confession and after I do my penance, and yeah, like, it's a beautiful thing. It's very beautiful. But today's back day. So yeah. Okay, well, that was it for the back day. Yeah, sorry for not posting every single day. I'm still filming every day, but some days I get caught up at nights. Like, I don't even know if I'll be able to post tonight because I got something to go to. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, Jesus Christ loves you guys. And keep pushing and keep following the Lord.